Hi, I'm Christina. Welcome to Missionary Yogi. I'm here in Bali today. So excited to be coming to you and introducing you to yoga. So this is an intro video. This is beginners. So this is your very first yoga class. It's a great time to start. And if you are already an experienced yogi, this would be a great one to just get back to the basics. So the mission of Missionary Yogi is getting in touch in our mind, bodies, and spirits, both with Jesus Christ, God, ourselves, and the world around us. And so starting off with the basics is that you are mind, body, and spirit, and you are meant to feel and to be aware and awake in all three of those places. The Bible references mind, body, and spirit over and over again. In Genesis, we're told that we're created in the image of God. And God is a Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And so are we, in mind, body, and in spirit. In 1 Thessalonians 5:23, we're encouraged to pray to God that our whole spirits, souls, and bodies be preserved and blameless to the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. And over again in the New Testament, in Hebrews, he talks about how the word of the Lord is a piercing sword, and it cuts us in our spirits, in our souls, and in our bone and marrow, our bodies. And so the practice of yoga is a way for us to get in touch in all three of those areas to grow in our awareness. So let's start our practice. I'll take a big inhale up, finding a comfortable space, seated position. If it's too much to be seated Indian style on the floor, you can place a block or cushion underneath your sit bones. Scooping your arms up, taking a big inhale, letting your shoulders rest. Exhale. Dipping forward, rooting the heels of your palms down, letting the back of your neck grow long. Big inhale, rolling the arms back up. Exhale, gently twisting over to the left. On the inhale, growing nice and long. On the exhale, twisting a little more deeply. Inhale back up to the center, nice and long. Exhale, over to the opposite side. Inhale back up, and let our hands come down to heart center. You can stay here with your hands at heart center, letting your thumbs rest on your sternum, or you can place your hands palm up. We'll sit up nice and tall, letting our tailbone grow long, so our sit bones are pressing down into the floor, cushion, or block. The crown of our head is reaching up towards the ceiling or the sky. Our chin is gently tucking down towards our chest, and our spine is growing nice and long. You can close your eyes, and we're going to breathe in through our nose, out through our nose. This is called Ujjayi breathing, when you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And constricting your throat on the exhale. So it sounds a little bit like a Darth Vader sound on the exhale. This is your first time practicing your Ujjayi breathing. It might sound a little bit like snoring, and that's totally fine. But what we're doing is we're tightening the airwaves in the back of the throat, so we're building heat in our bodies. We're also coming to a place of meditation. We've done a couple of stretches, and now we're becoming still. So keeping that breath going in through your nose, out through your nose. Letting your shoulders roll down the back of your spine. Lifting your chest ever so slightly to open up your heart. So shoulders just melt backwards, nice and relaxed. Not bowing your chest forward, but growing the spine nice and long. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. And I'll pray for our practice. Keep that breath going. Lord, I just thank you so much for this time that we get to breathe and stretch and move and feel alive. I pray that you would guide us through our practice, that our thoughts would be calm, that we would grow in our awareness of where we're at in our physical, spiritual, and emotional bodies. God, we just thank you so much for your presence, for the freedom that you give us to breathe, stretch, and move on our yoga mats and in our lives. In Jesus' name. Amen. You can make your way over onto all fours. So hopefully you're feeling a little more calm and centered through those breaths. That is what we want. You can take those big breaths any time of the day. Taking a big inhale with a neutral spine, we're stacking our shoulders over our wrists, our knees right under our hips. Exhale, arching up like an angry Halloween cat. Inhale, dropping that tummy low, letting the shoulder blades fall towards one another. Taking your heart and your sit bones upward. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Moving through at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling. Really exaggerating the movements, making them as big as you can. Coming back to a neutral spine, we'll begin to kind of wag our tail, looking over our shoulders towards our hips, stretching out our side body. Coming back to a neutral spine, we'll let our neck grow long, down to the center. Inhaling and exhaling from side to side. Swinging like a pendulum. Slowly, maybe taking your neck all the way around. If you feel the freedom and mobility to do that, maybe taking it all the way around in the opposite direction. Keeping that breath going in through your nose, out through your nose. We'll tuck our toes under, gently pressing our hips up to the sky, spreading our fingers wide like starfish, hollowing out our underarms. So you do that by pressing the mat or the ground away from you with the palms of your hands and your fingertips. And so you've got hollowed out underarms. That protects your shoulders. It also helps protect your wrists. Your sit bones are reaching upward and backward. And the heels are hovering above the mat. You can begin to pedal your feet, lowering one knee, bending one knee, lowering one heel and then the other. Nice and slow so your muscles have the opportunity to stretch. Spreading those fingers wide, pressing all the fingers into the mat. So by doing this, by pressing your fingers into the mat, you're actually protecting your wrists. So the palms of your hands are not completely flat. The centers of your palms are actually a little bit up off the mat because your fingertips are pressing into the mat. The heel of your palm, kind of at the base of your wrist, is pressing into the mat. And that'll help protect your wrists. Finding a place of stillness in our downward facing dog. On our first inhale, we'll float our left leg backward. So not so much up, but more so back. And our challenge here is to keep our hips parallel. So we're flexing that foot. If you look back, you can see those toes pointing straight down to the ground. And I really want you to focus on lowering that left hip to meet the right hip. So those hips are completely squared to the mat. If you really want to challenge yourself, you're wondering if your hips are squared, you can place a book or block here on your lower back. And if that book or block, it starts to fall down, that's because your hips aren't square. Taking a big inhale here. Exhale, we'll step that foot forward. We're stepping it forward towards our wrist. Okay? We're going to do a couple of those. Big inhale, kicking that foot back up and back. Flexing that foot. Exhale, stepping it forward. Inhale back. Exhale, stepping it forward. Back. And this time a nice little ninja step, nice and soft. Excellent. Taking your heart up forward for our runner's lunge. That back heel is above the mat on the ball of your foot. And you're careful that you're not taking your knee past your ankle. So maybe you wiggle that foot forward to keep the knee not beyond the ankle. You might be on your fingertips. You could also take this back knee down if you want to. On our next inhale, we'll come up high onto our fingertips. And float nice and tall into our Anjane Asana, our crescent lunge. So our shoulders are relaxed away from our ears. Our biceps are coming in towards our ears. Our palms are facing each other. We're up on the ball of that back foot. We're breathing in through our nose, out through our nose. Taking your thoughts back to our meditation from the beginning of practice. That we are mind, body, and spirit. We were created this way. We were created to find communion in all three of those places. So as you breathe, I'm going to do a little scan. How are you feeling? How is your body? What feels tight? What feels good? How is your mind? How's your spirit? On the next inhale, growing nice and long. Exhale, we'll take those hands back down to the mat. Stepping back to our downward facing dog. On the next inhale, we'll float the right leg up, pressing that foot back, doing our best to keep those hips squared. So once again, you got the option of putting a block or book on your lower back. Taking a check, making sure those toes are pointing downward. Big inhale, exhale, stepping that foot forward. Inhale, pressing it back. Exhale, stepping it forward. Inhale, kicking it back. You're doing great, keeping that hip nice and squared. Exhale, stepping it forward. Inhale back, last one, nice and soft. Ninja step to the center. Nice. Inhale, taking that heart up. Remembering you do have the option of taking that back knee down if you want to, or you can keep the toes tucked. Pressing that back leg as straight as you can. Next inhale, getting your energy on that right foot, pressing into the foot as you inhale all the way up to our high lunge. And if this high lunge just feels like altogether too much, you can always stay down on the knee. And if that knee is uncomfortable, you can fold your mat or use an extra towel to kind of pad that knee. So whatever level you are at today is a good place to be. Breathing here, lowering those shoulders, relaxing those shoulders, breathing calmly. In through your nose, out through your nose. Exhale, taking those hands down. Stepping back to your plank. So in our plank, we're hovering our hips right in alignment with our heart. So our heart is higher than our hips. Keeping the space under your palms a little bit up because your fingertips are pressing down. If this is too much, you can take your knees down to the mat. And we'll lower down for our chaturanga. That's our yoga push-up. We'll inhale coming up, hovering our hands by our lowest rib. So hovering the hands above the mat, squeezing the elbows towards one another, pressing the tops of your feet down into the mat. Exhale down. Inhale, you can either tuck your toes and press all the way up, or you can come knees. And then all the way back up. Next inhale, the left leg is going to come up, but this time we're going to take it higher than before, opening up the hip, dropping the heel. Feeling that stretch. Where do you feel it? Doing that body scan. Pressing that leg back straight. Inhale, scooping that leg forward, light little ninja step. Maybe you use that left hand to get it where you want it. I'll take the back heel flat to the mat this time. Inhaling up to our warrior one. So in our warrior one, our 2 feet are kind of, our heels are lined up. Our hips and our torso are facing the front of our mat. We're nice and strong, bending that front knee. Both legs are nice Strong like warriors. Pressing that back pinky toe into the mat. Exhale, taking those hands down. Stepping back to our down dog. Next inhale, right leg comes high. Bending the knee, opening up the hip. Feeling that stretch in the side body. Pressing that leg back up, big inhale. Exhale, stepping that foot forward. Maybe using that right hand to get it where you want it. Big inhale, taking that back heel down. Coming up, warrior one. Relaxing your shoulders. Focusing your thoughts on your breath. In through your nose, out through your nose. You're doing awesome. Growing your tailbone long. Pressing that back pinky toe into the mat. Exhale, taking those hands down. Stepping back to your plank. Remembering you've got the option to take your knees down first, or you can lower all the way down for your chaturanga. This time we're going to press all the way up to our king cobra. So you can keep those elbows bent if it feels too intense on your back, or you can press those arms all the way straight. Lowering down, tucking the toes, pressing all the way back up. Downward facing dog. Excellent. We're going to lower our knees and slowly hovering them above the mat, taking them all the way down. We're going to make our way into sitting. Now we're going to think about growing our spine nice and long here. So we're pressing our hands down into the mat. If you've got long arms, or if you're a guy, you probably want to keep those elbows bent so you can really keep the spine long. If you've got shorter arms, it's okay to come up onto your fingertips. I got long arms, so I need to keep those elbows a little bit bent. What we're trying to do is grow the spine nice and long with the crown of the head, reaching up, the tailbone, pressing down, flexing your toes, lifting the heels off the mat. Doesn't look like we're doing much, does it? But we're doing yoga. Breathing in through our nose, out through our nose, growing that spine long, not bowing the chest forward, not arching in like this, but growing that spine nice and long. 2 more breaths, breathing calmly. Excellent. Scooping the arms up, getting those sit bones on the floor, kind of moving the junk away from the junk. Nice and long. Exhale, taking your chest towards your toes, keeping your heart open. And then you can bow over your legs, letting your head dump forward. Inhale, rolling back up. We've got 2 options here. You can keep the legs straight and press the hips up, reverse tabletop, or you can bend the knees and press the hips up. Once again, thinking about growing that spine nice and long, whether your knees are bent or extended. We're doing our best to grow the spine long, doing that body scan, assessing what do you feel. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose, nice and calm. Lowering down. We'll bring our knees into our chest. Rolling onto our back. Rocking side to side. We'll take those knees in a circle, holding onto the knees with our hands. Kind of massaging our sacrum onto the ground, reversing the circles, just observing what you feel. Maybe you take those knees in a big circle, opening them, closing them, feeling all that you can. A big part of our yoga practice is growing in our self-awareness. Maybe you open it up for happy baby. reaching for your big toes. And if your big toes don't feel accessible to you, you can just grab onto your knees or your shins or whatever is accessible. And here's where we're going to close the first part of our practice. So you can stretch out into your Shavasana, where you can just rest. And this is all the time that you have for today. You can go ahead and relax here, taking a nice little break before the day continues. Or you can go ahead and click on to the next video where we'll continue our beginner's practice. So like I said, if you're just doing this part one, you just stay there and rest in your Shavasana. I'll say a blessing to close our practice. But if you're continuing with me onto part two of our beginner session, you can go ahead and click the next video on your screen. I'll close our practice if this is the end for you today. God, I just thank you so much. I thank you so much for our bodies that are able to breathe and stretch and move. I thank you, God, that you've invited us in a place of freedom where we can seek you through all different types of mediums, God. And one of those spiritual disciplines that we get to use is the practice of yoga. And so, Lord, I just thank you that you've created us so intricately in mind and in body and in spirit. You've created us in your image. You've created us to know you, God. So I just pray blessings over everyone who is on their mats joining me today. I just pray that they would know you more intimately and more deeply, in a way that's unique and powerful to them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You can roll over onto one side, making a little pillow for yourself with your arm. And when you're ready, you can press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You're reaching across your body, pressing yourself up. We'll sit up nice and tall, just like you did at the beginning of practice. Taking a big inhale, scooping our arms high, and exhale our hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you, and namaste. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Missionary Yogi, our YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.